On the edge of the Indian Ocean lies a city older than most nations. This is Old Town Mombasa. For over 1,000 years, its streets have echoed with footsteps of Swahili merchants, Arab sailors, Portuguese conquerors, Omani sultans, and British colonizers. Today we walk the same streets to uncover how this coastal jewel came to be. Long before skyscrapers or steamships, Mombasa began as a humble fishing village. Old Town Mombasa was part of a chain of Swahili city-states that dotted the East African coast from Somalia to Mozambique. By the 9th century, it was already on the map. Arab traders sailing the monsoon winds knew Mombasa as a place of ivory, mangrove poles, and hospitality. But this wasn't just a trading post, it was a cultural crossroads. Bantu-speaking Africans met merchants from Oman, Persia, and even China. From that fusion emerged something extraordinary: Swahili civilization. They built homes from corals, designed to stay cool in the coastal heat. They worshipped in mosques made of stone, and they governed themselves through council of elders and sultans. By the 15th century, Mombasa wasn't just surviving, it was thriving, and the world was watching. In 1498, a Portuguese explorer named Vasco da Gama arrived in Old Town Mombasa. He was searching for a sea route to India, and he saw Mombasa not as a partner, but as a prize. They wanted control of the spice trade. They were willing to use force to get it. What followed was 200 years of violence, betrayal, and resistance. In 1502, the Portuguese attacked. The people of Mombasa fought back fiercely, but they kept coming back again and again. Finally, in 1593, they built Fort Jesus, a massive fortress on the waterfront, meant to dominate the coast forever. For decades, the fort stood over Old Town like a stone fist, but Mombasa never truly surrendered. In 1698, after a 3-year siege, Omani forces from Arabia stormed the fort. The Portuguese were expelled and a new chapter began. Under Omani rule, Old Town entered a golden age. The Omanis didn't just conquer, they invested. They rebuilt homes, expanded trade, and wove Mombasa into a vast network, stretching from Zanzibar to Muscat. This is when Old Town got its signature look: narrow alleyways, inner courtyards, and those iconic carved doors, each one telling a story through symbols of protection, faith, or family pride. But this era had a dark side. As demand for labor grew, Mombasa became a hub in the East African slave trade. Thousands passed through its ports, many never to return. It's a painful truth that lives in the stones of this city. Yet, even in suffering, resilience grew. Freed slaves settled in neighborhoods like Makadara, adding new layers to Mombasa's identity. By the 1800s, the Sultan of Zanzibar ruled from afar, but Old Town remained the soul of the coast. In 1887, the British arrived, not just to conquer, but to colonize. They leased the Kenyan Coast from the Sultan of Zanzibar and declared Mombasa the gateway to British East Africa. The Uganda Railway, dubbed the Lunatic Express, was built from Mombasa into the interior, transforming the city into a modern port. But the British built their own district, New Town, with wide streets and colonial bungalows. Old Town, it was left behind. Even as the world changed, Old Town held on. Its people preserved their language, their music, and their way of life. In 1963, when Kenya gained independence, Mombasa didn't just become part of a new nation. It reminded that nation of its ancient roots. Today, Old Town Mombasa is more than a tourist destination. It's a living archive. UNESCO has listed it as a World Heritage Site. Local artisans teach carving to the next generation. And we are documenting these stories before they fade. Old Town has survived fire, invasion, slavery, and neglect, and still it stands graceful, resilient, and proud. a testament to the truth that civilizations are not built by one people, but by many, meeting at the edge of the sea. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, comment, share, and hit the like button. Let's meet on the next one. Stay blessed.